Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Rabbi Moshe Otero. Just have a thought for everyone watching. We have a commandment in the Torah that says, honor thy father and thy mother, so your life would be extended. We also have a commandment not to do harm to our parents, not to do harm in any which way. You'll look at that in Leviticus. I'm going to post up the passage that a child who basically does harm is as if cursing their father or their mother. And the consequences, according to the Torah, is very severe. As a matter of fact, some would hold that it would be considered karet, to be removed off the face of this planet. It's so serious that the Torah reminds us Jews of the importance of honoring kivud Abba ve'ima. You might say, well, you know what? Not all fathers or mothers are basically people that are so nice necessarily. Sometimes they just get up your nerves. Sometimes they basically you just don't like them, their character, their behavior. Some have even said, well, they've abused me. Do I still have to honor my father and my mother even though perhaps they've abused me? In all of these situations, as we read the Torah and read the Tanakh, you'll come to the realization that this commandment goes beyond all of those excuses that you've just heard. Well, I don't want nothing to do with them. That's fine. You don't need to have nothing to do with them. But you still need to honor and respect your father and your mother. And this is how we get to the point of having our lives extended. Now, some will say, well, I don't have to because, this person was very physically abusive, mentally abusive. No, you still have to. Believe me, I can say a lot of stories and anecdotes of situations where I can say, well, I didn't have to honor my mother and my father. I'll beat them up. I'll take vengeance. Well, keep in mind, my fellow friends that are watching, if you do that, Torah is true. Torah doesn't lie. There are curses that come to realization when children, sons or daughters, basically come up and do harm to their parents. Unfortunately, we live in a world where our value systems no longer is the Torah, no longer is Scripture, and they've given all types of excuses to be able to justify the action to do harm to one's parents, father or mother may it be. So just remember, before you raise your voice and before you do actions against your parents, consider first speaking to a spiritual guide regarding doing such actions, because you may be cutting your life short as a result of that. So remember, honor your father and your mother so that your life is extended. You want to have extension of life? Honor your father and your mother. You don't want to have your life extended? Then do the opposite. There are blessings and there are curses that comes to reality when children dishonor their parents or even curse their parents. Remember that. It's an eternal rule that God gives the children of Israel and teach all the world to honor their father and mother. But you say, well, wait a minute. This happened. Even the worst sin. Now we read in the Bible of what occurred with Lot and his daughters. That he got so drunk, so shicker. They took advantage of him, or basically he knew what he was doing. And even at that level of that sin, it's no reason to dishonor your father or your mother. Remember, the commandment says very clearly, kavod Abba ve'ima. May God have mercy upon those children who basically take it upon themselves to do harm to their parents.